Hey smokers, Drug1 here, and today we're going to be creating some virtual machine-ception. Well, that's right. As per this user's suggestion, we're gonna be doing it. Okay, so there are a couple challenges with installing an OS inside of an OS inside of an OS using a bunch of virtual machines. Well, it takes a lot of processing power. Like a lot. So right now I'm recording this on my main computer, which has it's the most powerful computer I have. It's a 3.4 gigahertz Intel Core i7 2600K, but I didn't overclock it. I have 16 gigabytes of 1600 megahertz DDR3 RAM, and of course I have the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970. And that's what I'm going to be using for actually offloading the video encoding to using the NVIDIA NVENC. So it's going to be a little troubling, and I don't know if we'll actually be able to do this today, because something's going to break. Somebody wrote a comment about virtual machines being able to, or virtual machine software being able to detect if it's already in a virtual machine, and then keeping itself from either being installed, working, whatever. So right now, the plan is to walk down the list of operating systems. We're already on Windows 10 right now, so we're going to step down from Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows Vista, hopefully. I don't have a very good copy of that. Windows XP, and then the problem with going past that point is you go into the zone of not being able to make virtual machines anymore, just because there's not the software that's old enough to do this sort of thing for the older platforms. So we're only going to be able to get so far, and then we're going to get kind of stuck, and so I'm going to try something sort of cool if I can. So we're going to see how far we can get installing virtual machines inside of virtual machines. Now, we're going to have to switch off between different software to avoid what I just mentioned, which was detecting whether or not it's in a virtual machine or a virtual machine software installed within itself. So for example, if Vmware Player, which I'm going to start off with here, can detect whether or not VMware Player gets installed on its copy of Windows 7, for example, then we'll just run into some issues if it just says, oh, well, you can't actually do this. So to put that out of the way, we can just go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off by creating a new virtual machine. New virtual machine wizard. Okay. For the text layer, I have a disk and the drive. You can select an operating system disk image. This might actually speed some things up. So right here I've just selected that this is the Windows 8 image we're going to install. And as you can see, it says Windows 8 detected. This operating system will use easy install. So we'll probably need to do that, otherwise if the guest operating system doesn't have the right drivers, it may not even be able to run virtual machine software inside of it. So I guess we'll just go with easy install and see what happens. I mean, this is really, well, I know that's not necessary, but okay. Yes. So here's the number one issue here. So since we're going to have to set aside a pretty big disk image for this, I'm going to call this holy crap. Or store it in the location holy crap, because I'm going to make the disk drive very, very large, 100, not that many, 100 gigabytes in size. Hopefully that should be enough for a couple levels, because I'm going to have it be the split into multiple files, which I guess is the expanding. I haven't really done the math on this yet, so if we have 100 gigabytes and we need to install Windows Vista inside of that, the operating system's probably going to set aside, let's say, 30, so then Windows 7 is going to get only 30 gigabytes. So that means that this actually has to get even bigger, because it's going to take even more space. So we could bring it up to 250, but then I'm starting to get a little bit afraid that I'm going to run out of space on my drive, because I don't actually have that much space. Like I have 300 gigs left on my drive. Let's just put aside 300 gigs just to be safe. This is really going to get insane, and hopefully it will just expand slowly so it never actually gets to that point. Oh my lord, this this is gonna, okay, so and then the other thing is we gotta customize the hardware. We gotta, oh my God. We're gonna have to give it a pretty decent amount of RAM. We don't want to give it all the RAM. Right now I'm using a lot of RAM. Right now my whole system is using about 4 gigabytes of RAM because I have a bunch of crap open. So I should probably leave about 6 left over. So I'll give it 10. And then hope that all of the ones below it will be okay. I could probably get by with 8, but let's try 10. Around 10. Maximum recommended memories right there. Okay, processors 1. I could give it some more cores here. I technically have 8 now with hyperthreading, so I could give it all 8, which probably would be wise. But then Windows 7 is going to want it. This is going to be pretty tricky. This is quite a puzzle. I do have some virtualization stuff going on. This could get a little bit complicated. Ooh. See what happens. Oh God! Oh God! Okay, so luckily for us, it looks like it hasn't pre-allocated all 300 gigabytes. It's just sort of setting aside some chunks. Okay, so it turns out that it's only using up 6 gigs of hard disk storage before install this. So this is Windows 8. It says easy installs installing Windows 8. So this is probably what's gonna make it fast. But God, I'm so scared. Like this is some heavy duty stuff right here. I mean, I thought it was a big deal to run Windows 7. And now we're doing this. Okay, so we have our selection. We probably want to stick with a 64-bit system so we don't get constrained down too much. This will probably screw me over. I don't know if Vmware Player allows that, but we're going to have to find out the hard way, unfortunately. So we're copying files from an SSD to a mechanical drive. So this should be pretty quick. One thing I should probably have up on the screen is this right here, just so we can keep track of what is happening. This might be quick enough to actually finish in a decent amount of time. I would say I was going to turn off the network adapter just so it doesn't have any weird stuff with activation, but I'm going to need the network adapter on because if I want to share files all the way down the nesting, the only way I'm going to be able to drag files in through all the nesting is if I have like shared folders, because that's the most direct way. I mean, you could drag in and then drag in and then drag in and then drag in, but I'm probably going to be alternating different virtual machine softwares, one of which is probably going to be Virtualbox, which I know does not support that currently. But if I'm wrong and they have updated it, that'll be very convenient, but we'll probably have to stick with the shared folders. Hopefully they will propagate up the chain. Okay, so we got past probably what's the part that's going to take the longest, I hope. I guess we're installing updates already, since we're connected to the network, but I think it's going to get kind of sad at me because I don't have the product key, but I don't know. I didn't show any bandwidth change. We can sort of check that to see if it's downloading anything. So in the essence of saving time and just trying to get through it, we're going to switch to Virtualbox. We could alternate a little bit, but we're going to switch to Virtualbox. We're going to install Virtualbox inside Windows 8. Then we're going to install Windows 7 inside of Virtualbox. And so this is how much memory I'm using right now. As you can see, it's almost redlining a little here. I do have a little bit of virtual memory set aside, so I shouldn't get in too much trouble here. It's not impossible for me to totally bog things down, but it will not go above its 10 gigabyte limit because it's capped off by the topmost virtual machine in the chain. So everything else is going to exist within it. This thing has restarted like a billion times. Let's not. Wait. Pairing or connected devices for networks in public places. Whatever. So we don't want it to do Windows Update because then it'll just explode all over the wall. Okay, so this is Windows 8. Finally. Or not. Damn it. Okay, sweet. We're here. We finally made it. We're done installing Windows 8. I don't believe it. So, only one way to get started here is we got to use internet. God, this is gross. Let's go back. Let's use the desktop. It's now installing VMware tools. If we open Internet Explorer here, it's a little bit different. Kind of weird that an operating system has two different versions of Internet Explorer. This is not Windows 8.1. This is just Windows 8. So if we look at this, we'll see that it is just Windows 8. Doesn't say 8.1 or anything anymore, I don't think. It says it's not activated. It'll probably say my copy of Windows is not genuine, and it might even do that to my host operating system. Because I'm running so much quote-unquote piratey stuff inside of... Oh my god, get out of here, Jesus. Okay, so first we... What? Ah, crap. Okay, it's running a little bit smoother now since it's installed a VM... Whoa. What's this? I don't know what that is. I probably shouldn't have closed it. Oh well. It's close enough. So let's go ahead and if it will cooperate with it. MSN is not responding. No surprise. Okay. Our processor utilization over here has not been maxed out yet. Let's see if Virtualbox will bring us salvation. Oh man, now you have to wait for my slow internet. So let's see what the thing inside, the task manager within, looks like. Can we... Okay, cool. So we have the internal CPU utilization and the external host CPU. So that's kind of cool. And we can see both of that. Over here it shows that we have committed... Okay, it says we have 10.6 gigs of RAM. Okay. Disk 0. Okay, that's fine. This is downloading crap. Alright. So everything looks okay so far. Alright. So in order for this to proceed, obviously it's not going to work without... okay, whatever. It's not going to work without the ISOs. So I stupidly put all the ISOs on... No, maybe I could make it work. Could be interesting. So pretty much all virtual machine software, as far as I know, allows you to mount a CD-ROM, a real CD-ROM. So theoretically, we could mount the system CD-ROM in the virtual machine to another virtual machine, and then we could keep passing the disks down through the virtual machines, and then it'll actually work with close to SSD-ish speeds. We'll give that a try. So first we need to mount, let's let this install stuff, where we need to mount a disk here. So we're going to need to mount an ISO image file. So then we'll connect the Windows 7 ISO to this, and then we'll point the now quote-unquote physical disk, which is right there. We'll mount this because it thinks it's the physical disk. Anyway, this is getting confusing, and I apologize if it sounds like I'm rambling on here, but I mean, it's going to get really confusing. We're not even 2 levels in yet. This is the first level. This is just one virtual machine, and we're already confused. Okay, so we have our Virtualbox. Okay, so we need Windows 7. It already knows. Let's see if we can keep it. Will it let us do 64-bit? I don't think it will. I think we're about to just lose our 64-bit. Okay, so Win 7. There we go. Okay, so we want to give Windows 7 probably, what, 8 gigabytes of RAM, because it needs to hold like at least 2 more operating systems. Because right now this has 10, maybe 8? How much do we have? Let's see. We got 2.3, so About 8. We could give it 8. It'll start using virtual memory if it starts to run out. This is now expanded to 19 gigs. Okay, so we'll do 8. We'll do 8. That sounds pretty safe. I don't want to do it like that. There, that's fine. Create a hard disk image now. Virtual hard disk parallels QEMU. We'll keep it VirtualBox, I guess. There's an expert mode. Okay, we definitely want it dynamically allocated. We should make this drive, because it thinks our current internal drive is 300 gigs in size. So if we make this one, what, 250? Would that be safe to say? If we, because right now we've used 14 gigs. So if we give it 200 gigs, 250 gigs, that'd be pretty safe. This thing is going to get totally full, maybe. But if we want to play it safe, let's make it 250. Apparently numlock is not on in the virtual machine, so 50. Okay. Oh God, what is happening? Okay. That was a little scary. Dynamically allocated 250. Oh, I didn't put gigabyte. I didn't even get gigabyte. Got the G. There we go. Okay, so we got 8 gigabytes and a 250 gigabyte hard drive. Only thing left now to do is to set the actual CD to the host drive D, because this is now our host. Okay, so if anything's going to break, it's going to break right now and say that we're screwed. VTX is not available because, okay, so that's easy enough to fix. We just won't use virtualization. What it looks like here is the acceleration tab, which what I need oh so desperately to click, is conveniently grayed out. And it's what I need to turn off virtualization, which would allow me to nest it. So VirtualBox is out for use at all. So now we're going to take a shot in the dark and try to run VMware Player within itself. Now this looks like it's actually a newer version of VMware Player than the one I'm actually using as the host. So we're going to hope that this works. It's going to need to run a restart. Let's see where we're at in terms of disk space. I don't think anything has really changed. We're now to like, what, 21 gigs? So currently this is a trial mode software, so hopefully it doesn't stop working. And this is the Windows 7 thing that we're not going to use because it doesn't work. Okay, let's see if this can even be launched within itself. For free for non-commercial use, enter a valid email address. Weed@weed.com. Whoever that is, sorry. Alright, so this looks pretty much exactly like what we were just using on the outside. We're just going to do it on the inside here. So let's see if it will even let us do this. This is going to be, so Windows 7 detected for installer disk, nothing changed there. This operation is, we'll use easy install. And again, we're gonna nest in, let's switch the name over to Taraga. Keep it real. Yes, I would like to continue. Keep that Windows 7. We want to make the disk size. I think we agreed that 250 gigs was a good idea. For whatever reason, the numpad doesn't work again, so 250 gigs, split into multiple files. Okay. Customize the hardware, and this is where we will turn off the disable acceleration for binary translation. Preferred mode. I guess binary translation. Because we don't want this and we don't want this because that's what's broken. So we just want to do that. We don't want to check that. So that should actually fix the problem. I do not know why Virtualbox disabled that tab. I think it's because it detected its little secret way of detecting that. Oh, I'm gonna change a couple more things here. Processors, number of processors. I think we can still go with 8 safely. Pass it down the chain. Nowhere near enough RAM there, so we got how much RAM we got? Double check in here. 10 gigs. So then, and right now we're using about 2 gigs, so we'll give it about 8 gigs. I think we already figured that out. So perfect. Processor's 8. Everything else can pretty much fall by the wayside. And cross your fingers. Of course, it has to create the disk. Holy crap, I was not expecting it to get this far. I would figure it would have detected that it's also running VMware tools on the same computer, but apparently not so far. So this is going to be the real test. And if we can just keep nesting VMware Player, I'm totally fine with that. Because it works. Why am I not using just regular VMware Workstation? I don't know. Running VMware Player in a virtual machine will result in degraded performance. Do you want to continue? This is the best message box I've ever seen. Because it gives us a blank check to do exactly what we want to do. Run a virtual machine inside a virtual machine. So let's do it. Okay. Okay. We'll actually start up. Oh my god. It's actually doing it. It's actually doing it. Okay. Props for VMware. VMware 1, VirtualBox 0. I guess. We'll download some crap. Okay. So we're now starting Windows 7 within Windows 8. I'm already starting to get a little bit confused here. What's going on? CPU usage has gone up by a good margin. This is a little disconcerting. Of course, the memory's locked out. We've gone up to 90, 99. We're almost totally like redlining. I haven't dropped any frames on recording, but we're 2 in and it's not looking good so far. And if I go one more level down, it's just gonna get like exponentially worse. It's going a little heavy on my usage there. We're downloading stuff. We're multitasking, you know, it's good. And the other advantage to doing this is we can go to downloads. I can just drag this into here and we can start the whole rodeo again. Okay, so this is where things are starting to get a little heavy duty. So we can only use 32-bit operating systems from this point forward. We could do Home Basic to keep it basic, but I think the Home Premium is probably going to be what we'll want to keep with. Just to keep things simple. I think that Professional might be better. We're on Professional Windows 8. I don't think it'll cause too much difference. If there's anything in Pro that I need, which I probably won't, that it wants, I don't want to have to reinstall it. So now let's see where we're at in terms of our storage on the host. 25 gigs on the host, and we have, what do we got on this? 13 gigs. Used up by this so far. Okay, so at this point, I really don't want to do Windows Vista. The copy of Windows Vista I have is poopy, and I think we should just skip to Windows XP and see if we can get Windows XP running, and then we'll see from that point where we're gonna be. Because I mean we're about to go bankrupt. Actually, we're doing a little bit better now. The initial startup procedure was using up a lot of CPU, but this is not as bad. This is kind of all over the place, but that's to be expected. Yeah, we'll go with NVIDIA. This one, we're actually doing okay. It's actually handling it pretty well down. We're in 1, 2, 3. So this is getting intense here. All right, so now it's just installing the VMware tools, and yeah, things are starting to slow up just a tad here. Oh, nope, no, we're okay. We're okay. I just didn't have this in focus. Starting the services, and then of course we want to set home if we want those shared folders to work, if we are going to do that. If it can even connect to any sort of internet through all of this garbage that's going on, I don't know about that. And now it's going to restart since it's installed all the tools, or at least I hope it is. It is not growing as fast as I thought it was going to. I think 300 gigabytes was a little overkill, but if anything were to go wrong or suddenly it decided to automatically allocate the entire disk for whatever reason, I'd be ready for it. So, and I mean, worst case scenario, we have 26 gigs of space that we can just delete later after we're done with this, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we have Windows 7 started up here, and see if it can change it. Whoa, okay. We're stacking up our start bars here, I see. Um, and I missed 420. I really wanted to say something on the video about 420, but I missed it. Must have been smoking. Okay, so basically what we have to do next is install VMware Player on Windows 7. As you can see, the resolution switching is a little bit slow there. Go ahead and drag this on. There's VMware Player. And now we actually want to hook Windows XP. And yeah, we're only going to do a couple more levels. We want to hook Windows XP to and then we want to hook this to the physical drive. So now we will have, I think we may just have gone too many levels and it's starting to malfunction a little. Auto detect, or just say D. I'm gonna do it, or do I need to connect it? There we go, connect. And there it is. Windows XP went down, is sharing down a couple levels. Can we actually look at the files? Let's make sure this works. Okay, it does. So this is a weird sort of repacked version of Windows XP that has Service Pack 3 in it already. So we don't have to worry about anything. So here's Windows VMware Player, Workstation Player. Install. This is what I installed a little earlier. I don't know if I cut it out of the video or not, but I was doing it while I was trying to figure it out. Okay, that's not what I was expecting. Let's see what else we can do here. Oh, right, it's only going to say it has 3 gigabytes of RAM because we're on 32-bit. Alright, whatever. So I'm a dumbass. Okay, well, I'll fix that later, but, okay, so, Virtualbox. I don't know why I think this is going to be any more successful, but we'll try it. Okay, we got this far. It actually installed. Will it let us do anything? Let's find out. So now we're doing Windows XP. Oh, my version of Windows XP is the 32-bit one. I don't see why not. Of course, we can only, let's assign a gig to that. Okay, let's make it, well, 10 gigs, I guess. I guess that'll be enough. 25? We'll make it 30. 60? We got a lot of space. Let's make it 70, 80. Fine, perfect. Because I'm only planning on going one more in, so. Video memory, okay. See if it'll let me change the acceleration tab. It will not. So this almost makes me want to install a older version of Virtualbox, because I don't think it's going to work. What the hell? It actually works? Oh my god. It works 2 in, but not 1 in. What? Okay, I wasn't expecting this. Okay. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. We're actually gonna go another 1 in. Mind is blown. Okay, alright. So once we're in... Okay, I had to... It was taking forever to get past this part, and it may still not get past this part. But as you can see, I've moved the ISO through the different levels here so that it can grab the ISO from its closest place, because something may have been lost in translation going through all of the levels of sharing the host drive. So since we don't want to have it go out of its damn mind, we'll just let it do it this way, and I think we may actually be able to get the installation started. Oh Lord, it's gonna take so long. Okay, so as you can probably tell by the passage of time here, that this is not doing anything. Um, I have an alternate plan though. We don't really have to change much. Just gonna close this out, power off the machine. I have copied over a already installed Windows XP. It's already been installed in VirtualBox. I think we can just click on this and it'll load it in. If not, then I'll just import it. But I guess if import appliance, I don't know why it's called that, but oh, there it goes. Never mind. There it is. Okay, I don't know what this is or what I made it for. Apparently, I was making something to get Multimedia Fusion 2 to work for whatever damn reason. So let's see if we can tweak this just a little bit to see if we can make it work a little bit better for us. This is already set up with a gig of RAM. It's pretty much all we're going to need to worry about. So I think we're good. So our current version of Windows XP is just not going to start up under any circumstances. I don't know if this installation is going to work. Let's go ahead and try it. May run into an error condition as described below. We suggest that you take appropriate action to solve the error. Oh, it's just I don't have the Microsoft Office ISO connected for whatever reason. Not a big deal. Will it actually boot up though? That's the question. You may have to safe mode it, as sad as that sounds. It may be time to put the next course of action into effect. Okay, so let's see if we can just get it in safe mode. Just to see if it'll actually start up at all. Okay, so that didn't work, and VirtualBox is out. I've been trying an older version of VirtualBox to see if the acceleration tab comes up so I can disable it, but I guess it's just all disabled by default. So we're going to have to move on to Windows Virtual PC, I think. I don't even know what this is. No, what the fuck did I do? Fuck. Okay, so we got a thing here called Windows Virtual PC, which apparently was an update to Windows 7 at one point. And I had to install an update package to specifically get this. And I don't know why it keeps opening a folder every time I... What? Oh, look at this. I didn't notice this because I have so many preconceived notions about how things work. It's integrated with Explorer. There's a button that says Create Virtual Machine. Oh my lord. What? I need hardware-assisted virtualization? Are you shitting me? Box. There's another virtual machine software. It may be our last hope. Box. Oh my god. Oh. Um. mm, ooh, 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 um. Oh my god. How the fuck am I gonna install something if I don't have an image? Disk and boot. Edit. Okay. Floppy options. 88 channel 0. CD-ROM is first boot device. Disk is the second boot device. Um, interrupt request type of ATA. Okay, CD-ROM. We can navigate to the image. Hopefully it lets us use ISOs. Alright. Okay, before I even add a hard drive, I'm just going to see if it will boot off of the ISO I provided, because if it doesn't do that, it's not going to do me any good. So let me just double check the boot options. First boot device is CD-ROM. Start. Doing a lot of junk in the background. Could not read the boot disk. No bootable device. Okay, next step. So I'm putting D instead now that I have it mounted. Wish there was a console on everything else so I could tell what went wrong. Oh, wonderful. See this right here? It actually did start to boot from the CD-ROM. Or wait, no, it didn't. I thought I was gonna say press any key to fucking jeez. This is nightmarish right here trying to get this to work. I guess because I have a fleeting memory of trying to use Box, but it's like impossible. I don't know why it's impossible, but for whatever reason it doesn't want to boot off of disk. So I guess you can't expect very much from a 4 megabyte. Yeah, that's pretty. Let's see this. 5-ish megabyte virtual machine software. So I mean, I'm sure it's pretty good for what it's supposed to do, but I think Windows XP might be a little bit too hefty for it. So that brings me to my last um, option for virtual machine within Windows 7 at this point. I'm sure glad we didn't even decide to go to Windows Vista. That would have been disastrous. We're going to, of course, default to the old reliable Virtual PC 2007. Now, I was waiting to use this on the Windows XP level, but it looks like we have no choice because I can't get it to work. So we'll go ahead and do that now. So Virtual PC 2007 is old enough that it doesn't give a crap about virtualization technology. And it just works. Just using raw CPU horsepower. I guess. This will technically run on Windows XP, and therefore will run on Windows 7. I thought it was going to be a lot easier than this. I thought that anybody could just go on and just install, and you just wait a long time, and then it's done. This is turning out to be not true. This is turning out to be a lot of the annoying. Not supported with this version of Windows? Well, there is technically a solution to this. And we might be able to get a little bit further. Okay, so I think the only way we can go any deeper is if we start off with Windows XP right off the gate. So let's see, XP Professional detected. Running VMware Player in a virtual machine. Okay. Okay. Virtual printing is globally disabled on this system. Alright. What? Where'd it go? Did I close it? Oh, it's back. What? What? Okay, XP is not going to work. So I was checking the disk activity and it wasn't doing anything. So thus far, the best we've been able to do so far is to get Windows 7 running. Windows XP just doesn't like being nested at all whatsoever. Windows 7 can handle it, but Windows XP doesn't like it. So what does that leave us with? Well, I don't know. How much time do we want to spend on this? I don't really want to spend that much time on it. But let's go ahead and start up Windows 7 again. I got another idea. Another idea. Okay, so we got Nested 7 working. Fine. Okay. Dropbox will launch. Dropbox. VirtualBox. There's Dropbox, there's DOSBox, there's VirtualBox, two of which do sort of the same kind of thing. So let's try and just use the older. Oh, we could use the. We'd have to reinstall the newer version. God damn it. Oh, Lord. Let's see if it'll let me just install over it. Okay, so we got VirtualBox back up again. Alright, so we're going to create a new one. But I got a little thing up my sleeve here. It is a Windows 98 hard disk image. Now, it's already installed, obviously. And it is in the VMDK, which is used with VMware Player, but VirtualBox can open those. So we may have some driver issues or maybe even a boot issue, but this is really the last hope that we really have of getting and completing this video as far along as we can. Just because we've been running into so many roadblocks here. This is what you have to do if you want to copy something in. You have to go both levels and get it down to the bottom level so it can access it. 512 megs of RAM. Use existing virtual hard disk file. Search for it. It's on the desktop. It recognizes it. Apparently it's an 8 GB image. Let's see what it'll do. Okay. Yes! Oh my god. Progress. Progress. I'm liking this so far. Can we make it? You think we can make it? I hope we can make it. Oh my god. It's not accessing the hard disk. It's not accessing the hard disk. Why is it not doing anything? It's stuck. Data red is stuck at 12. Okay, so no, we don't do that. Reset. Reset. Oh, it's not. Okay, so let's safe mode it. We're still loading here. Oh my god, what? Oh my god. I see a mouse cursor. Holy hell. It's gonna work. Oh my god. I know I'm pulling the baby mode with safe mode, but I mean, oh my, yes, capture it. All right. Mouse is pretty hard to control. Well, not really. It's okay. Come on, keep booting. Yes. Yes, and it might just work well enough to run the next level. That's right, the next level. We're not done yet. This is the level that I wanted to get to first. So, so the downside is we can't make this window any bigger. So, we're gonna move on to the next step, which is Mini VMac. And I think a good number of you know what that is already. Okay, this is gonna be kind of awkward because we're running in safe mode. So let's see. Okay, so we got this here. Mini VMac Windows. I'll actually start up. Okay, it works. Alright, so now the next step, if you want to get Mini VMac working, is you have to drag in a system disk, like this one, and there. Oh my god, it's actually working! It's loading! Come on! Okay, we're in safe mode, and it's actually emulating a Macintosh Plus. Good gravy. Alright, okay, let's see, whoa god. We're getting laggy now, alright. About this Macintosh. Okay, System Software 7.5, alright, very good. Okay, so let's count. How many levels are we at? We're at, of course, the Windows 10, the host level. We got Windows 8, we got Windows 7, we got Windows 98, and then we have System 7.5. Pretty cool, right? Looks like we're good. We did it. Mission accomplished. How many can we go in? 1, 2, 3, so 4. So, alright, pretty cool, right? We did it. We got 4 in. But what if I told you we're not done yet? That we can actually go 1 more in. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, what? What kind of blazed out software developer would develop some crazy ass software that lets you run another level into this? Well, the answer to that, actually, interestingly enough, and I'm going to set this to all out speed because we need every ounce of processing power we can get at this point, is well, let me just let this speak for itself right here. No one may have noticed there's a little folder over here called What? And it has some sort of special files in here. And we're going to mount a couple more images on here. So I'm going to close this because we're really pounding this thing to the ground. See if it'll let me open it. It may not. It might be going it actually might be going too fast to detect the mouse click, but it's just having trouble actually rendering it. So here we actually have Mini VMac coded for 68K processors. Yes, that's right. We're going to run Mini VMac inside of itself. I don't know how many other people have done this. I'm sure anybody who's ever used Mini VMac has probably thought to do this at some point in time and has probably done it. You've probably done it too. But the question is, will it actually perform at all? Okay, we're not frozen up yet. We're not frozen up yet. I'm telling you, we're not. But it is not happy. It's not happy at all. Let's release the control key. You know how in the actual Inception movie, the more levels you go down, like the slower things actually get in real time. Oh God, this is like what was it, level 4? It was like the infinite time or whatever. I didn't really understand that movie, but it's got to be something like that right now. But the first real trial period here is that it needs to get through the white phase, and then it needs to get through the black phase, and then it needs to load in the actual checkerboard pattern. So now we're in the black phase. It needs to load up the checkerboard pattern and the blinking floppy disk. Let's see if we can push through. Tell it to. Okay. You're now controlling the inner Mini VMac. Hopefully I didn't send the stop toggle because I pressed the S key like a million times. Oh shit, I pressed S twice. Okay, so I've been waiting here for like I don't know how long. You just like press and hold the key, and then it works. So, whatever. Okay, so the only way we may be able to do this is to make sure that Windows is not starting in safe mode. But how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to have to install Windows 98 again. So if we're gonna reinstall Windows 98, guess what I have to use? That's right, Hiron's frickin' boot CD. Yeah, this thing's saved my ass more times than I'm willing to mention. Let's see if it'll actually work though, because look at this input delay. Just like laggy as shit. Holy balls. What's taking so long? So let's do exactly what we did before in the 95 video. Oh my lord. What? Uh, I've never seen safe mode turn red like that. That was legitimately scary. I'm gonna let check drive C for errors because there's probably one on there. Like safe, it's probably because the system's running so slow that I managed to actually see it turn red when it got selected. But I mean, if that was just horrific, I mean, oh my god. Did it fix anything? I don't know. Didn't tell me. I don't think it ever tells me. Okay, guys. I mean, I bust my ass for hours, as you can see by the elapsed time so far. Um, yeah, this really, wow. I mean, this is probably as far as we can go. Um, Here's the jigsaw puzzle picture thing. So you can drag the pieces around still. If I can find a corner piece, we can, oh, I think this is one. I don't know if I'll be able to finish the puzzle. I don't think I'll want to finish. Yep, there it goes. It fit, got into place there. Yep, there we go. So this does work. So it can sort of barely run anything at all when we're this many levels in. It's just too many levels, I think. I'm able to do the mini VMAC inside a mini VMAC just fine. Uh, Windows 98 virtual machine, but if I try to do it this many in, it's just way too hard for it, and it just will not go. So a lot of time went by, as you can see by the time here. It's almost 8 o'clock. It's not done anything at all whatsoever. So if you're itching to find out what exactly it looks like to have um, Mini VMAC run inside itself in Windows 98, we can just go ahead and play that same virtual machine, except it works because this is the original virtual machine that I installed Windows 98 on. That's probably why we are in safe mode over here. There's Mini VMAC. You can see everything's running a lot faster now that it's not nested in multiple operating systems. Drag in the Macintosh Plus system. Drag in the old Mini VMAC. Drag in the disk image. Launch Mini VMAC. White, black, and how long does the black stage last? I don't know. It's still a really long time. Oh, while we're waiting for that, why don't we go ahead and start closing stuff. Close that. I'm totally pooping on my computer right now. Oh my god, it finally did it over here. So that's how long it takes when you actually have it on full. So theoretically, it could have gotten to this point, but it could have taken hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. So we don't want to do that. So it actually did do it. Let's open up the disk image. For some reason, you have to do it from here, I think. It doesn't like drag and drops. If we get lucky. There it goes. It's actually starting up. We're in Windows 98 as well. Like I forget about that sometimes because it so crisply represents Mac OS here. For whatever reason, it's in French, or at least I think that's French. I couldn't imagine how slow this would have been. Uh-oh. They found me. They found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Oh, nope. I'm okay. Yay. Oh, this is smooth. Oh, time to shut this down. How the hell do you do that in Windows 8? Yep, there it is. Power. Shut down. Okay, start it up all the way. Jeez. Oh my god. I don't remember it being this slow when I did it last. Good lord. I'm so glad I didn't try this any other way. My god, that's the flicker? That's the flicker? Oh, oh, oh god! This is slower than the 5. This is slower than the original Macintosh. By about 20 times. Yeah, no wonder it didn't work. Holy crap. Now, when you ever hear somebody say something about something being painfully slow, well, let's just say I know what they mean because, usually it's just a figure of speech, right? Well, I'm starting to experience, so not actual physical pain, but like your body like starts to seize up because if you're used to like fast computers and using them in a general, and even the Windows 98 machine's pretty fast. And even the original Macintosh is pretty fast compared to this. And I don't know what happened or what, but I was using this earlier today and it was not this slow. I don't know what happened, but if you're curious about what's going on, it's not a lot. Could be that I'm recording. Probably is totally messing it up. I can't even draw. I was able to Mac Paint before, and now I cannot. Oh, okay, it's just not worth it. Let's just call it quits here. Be done. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Trago1. I'll see you next time.